NY.com. We here with Vicci 718, Zip 'em Up Gang. You already know. Alright, this very successful N.Y.A.B.L battle that he put together with Max 3 Media. The event was very successful. There was like 300 plus people in attendance. It was dope areas that we were in. Staten Island. We've seen a lot of stars. A lot of people came through. I mean, like
Smack,
licking the building.
Loaded Lux. He had the place. That was the place to be that night.
I mean, I know a lot of people want to know what made you want to throw this event. Like,
I felt like this is the place where I come from, and I always wanted to know how to get to these other places when I was younger. Like, I used to see these Smack DVDs. Like, where do they have this stuff? And like, how would I be able to get involved with it? So I just felt like to bring it to my city, people that don't like to leave the borough might want to attend it because they felt like they'd be right at home, you understand? Like they feel comfortable, you know?
And they definitely did come out, you know what I'm saying? It was in droves, as a matter of fact. I know like the first couple weeks of just announcing it and having the tickets on sale, y'all sold like a good 200, like just in like the first like week or something like that, right? Some crazy number.
We might have had like 500 plus there, to be honest with you. Yeah, shit was crazy.
It was packed.
Right. All right. So like on the bill's pretty big. We had a lot of like up and coming artists. I noticed that there was a lot of Staten Island artists there too. So I know like you kept the love within the borough. How did you pick these artists? Like how does that happen?
Basically, I found myself battling a lot in Park Hill. My girl was, you know, she used to live over there, and I crossed a lot of these battlers that were on the card, whether it be a cypher, whether it be me battling them, and like there was like a real mutual respect between me and them because they put in a lot of work, or they were actually cut out of opportunities that they were supposed to be involved in, and I just felt like this. For them to be one of their, like, you gotta understand, there's a lot of people that was on that bill that this was their first battle. And to battle at home, your first battle, you feel more comfortable than battling away, you understand? So I just felt like involving them would be major. It would definitely be a good look for them. You know, like I said, they could definitely bring the people out. I mean, I know I could bring the people out, but if anybody could bring it out, they could definitely bring them out, you know? And that's why it was a love in that situation.
Right. Now, even being that, I remember the event was supposed to originally be at the N.Y.A.B.L, which is known on Staten Island, you know, for having like a lot of indie bands and things like that come through. And an event like this would even seem perfect there, but it grew so fast you actually had to switch it over towards the Life Center.
Yeah.
Was that something that you were expecting, or was that just?
I was actually expecting. I was not saying to be cocky or nothing. I was kind of expecting a big turnout because I seen where the battle game was at. And I feel the place that we come from, which they call the Forgotten Boroughs, or should I say, they would have came together for something like this, you understand? And like I said, I had told the promoters, like, yo, N.Y.A.B might not be big enough. And they was like, yo, it fits 280, 300. And I'm like, yo, I don't think that's gonna be enough. You know what I mean? I feel like we got 200 people coming from off the borough. You know, and like I said, I apologize to all the fans that I had to hold out on the location. It was just the place that we were having, and that they didn't want that there. You know what I mean? And we kind of had to like sidetrack it, tell them it was something else. We were cool with the person who was running the event at nighttime. And as long as we took care of that person, they were cool with what we were doing.
Being that it was such a big event, and you know what I mean, it might even seem like since you were, you know, doing it on the dip, on the low, it seemed like you guys were even short-staffed for the point of like, you know what I mean, so many people coming in there. There was like a point where it was like, you know, it's hard doing crowd control because the event grew so big. And I even noticed that, you know what I mean, you were even doing your own part of crowd control, like. And like, I mean, how was that? That had to be frustrating because you're also getting ready to.
You know what it is? 99.9% of the people in the building, I know them. And I felt like I'm walking around and I'm trying to get shit right. And I didn't want people to think like I was trying to ignore them, but it was always, yo, Vicci, yo, Vicci, yo, Vicci. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm trying to do something so we can make this thing be solid, you understand? And it was like people just kept talking to me, and I kind of got like aggravated, like, yo, bro, if I stand here and talk with you, it could be a possibility where something's going on the other side of the room that I can't control. I felt like the security wasn't really doing the most that they said they were gonna do, and I felt like I had to kind of, you know, I gotta shout out a couple. I'm not gonna shout out no names, but there was a couple of dudes from the Hill, older dudes. Plus, they probably don't want their name on camera anyway. But a couple of older dudes from the Hill, and they really like, you know, they really held it down for us and told people like, yo, chill out, relax. And I mean, that's why I always got respect for the older dudes. They definitely, you know, they definitely show love.
I mean, you can, if anybody like, you know, with the head on their shoulders can tell, like, you know, that even crowd control takes up a certain amount of time. It takes like so much time on. So it's like, I mean, getting down to it, like I don't even want to dance around the situation. There was like people that were on the bill, and you know what I'm saying, and clearly like they didn't even get a chance to battle. I mean, there was even points where people were even trying to be called on stage and they weren't really. I don't know if they weren't able to get there or if they weren't around or things like that. Like. How did that come about? How did you guys fight a way through that? Because I know like a lot of, when things start falling apart, it almost feels like a snowball effect. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Basically, this is the whole rumor. Right? Basically, the cops basically came in the building. Okay? And I don't know if it was because they saw people smoking weed or underage drinking, whatever they saw. So they shut that down right away. My thing was, I was trying to go last because they had me as the main event, and I was told basically we're gonna do the performances first and do the battles last. Now, to me, the priority of the consumer, meaning the person who bought the tickets to come to the battle, they were mostly there for the battlers. And this is not to shit on the performers, but it was just they was there for the battlers. So my voice of opinion was, though, let's do the battles first. If the performances get cut off, they know at least they was on the flyer. They didn't pay to be on the flyer. They got some, you know, recognition, whatever the case may be, and we could set up some type of showcase of talent show after that. The other two people that were involved in the situation basically said, yo, let's do the performances, let's knock them out the way, so after the battles are done, we can just go home.
Do you feel like the performances dragged out a little bit? Or?
I felt like that. There were some people that weren't on the flyer that did perform, and I got the utmost respect for them. You know, they put on a show, but like these are the type of reasons I try to tell them. Like, I didn't set up the performances, I set up the battlers. If you weren't put on as a battler, then, I mean, as a performer, should I say, it wasn't because of me, and I'm not to blame the person who did it. It's just that he put people on the bill who he felt would bring out people and was buzzing at the time. Because of that, I felt like they was kind of dragged out. You know, I'm not saying we gave them too much time, but it obviously went over the time. And you know, my whole thing is people were like, yo, you only got the money cup till 1 o'clock. That's why the battles didn't go down. I was told by the person who ran the money cup, I mean, my bad, the place where we had it at, I don't even want to say it, the place where we had it at, that we only get it to 1. But then the person who was there that night told me, you do me a favor, you hook me up with some cash, and I'll keep the place open till we get done with every single thing, as long as there's no violence. So there was no violence that night, as everybody saw. I gave him an X amount of dollars at the beginning of the night. I said, yo, you keep this place open till we're done, and I promise you no violence. And then I said, at the end of the night, whatever I gave you, I'll give you double that, just for showing the love. You understand? So basically, you know what I mean, things were going smooth. We did the first battle. I kind of asked a battler to come on stage. He didn't want to go on stage. He thought by going first was, I'm not going to say his name, but by going first was like kind of corny. You know, obviously you missed out now, but going first is like, yo, you open up the show.
You got to set the tone.
You got to set the tone for the night. You understand? So basically what it was he went. Then people that came from Harlem and people that came from Jersey, who were behind me and behind the person I was battling, said, yo, listen, honestly, you told us to be here for 7. Because we really didn't have it set where we were going to do the battles or the performances to basically an hour before the thing. So basically what it was is, you told us to be here for 7. It's now 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. We've been here for 4 hours, bro. Can you put the Vicci versus Jay? Now, my opinion is, that crowd that I saw for the first battle, I didn't want to battle, because now I'm realizing as I'm watching it, I don't know if Staten Island was ready for a battle event. I don't know if they were kept there too long because maybe the performances. I don't know what it was, but it's like, if you paid $20, $30, $40 to see a battle, and you guys are just talking to each other the whole time in the crowd, you didn't come to see the battle, or you were just exhausted from being there that long. I mean, I can't blame the people, the fans, whatever. They're just like, I mean, they're gonna blame me regardless, but I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, they were just talking. It came to a point where I would say, yo, Park Hill, they go crazy. And then I'd say a bar that was fire, that my man like would go crazy when I spit it in the house. and they'd be like, or even go boo, and I'm like, I'm in Staten Island right now. This is home.
Yeah.
You booing me or you not reacting? If you're not reacting, I'm not gonna say, hey, you wrong. Maybe my bar wasn't good enough for you. Yeah, but you booing, and I'm like, the shit was fire.
Do you feel like it was restlessness? Like I know you mentioned
maybe it was restlessness. You know?